Our obligation is to serve, protect, and defend the citizens of the United States. We are also taking strong measures to protect our nation from radical Islamic terrorism. According to data provided by the Department of Justice, the vast majority of individuals convicted of terrorism and terrorism-related offenses since 9/11 came here from outside of our country. We have seen the attacks at home, from Boston to San Bernardino to the Pentagon, and yes, even the World Trade Center. We have seen the attacks in France, in Belgium, in Germany, and all over the world. It is not compassionate, but reckless to allow uncontrolled entry from places where proper vetting cannot occur. Those given the high honor of admission to the United States should support this country and love its people and its values. We cannot allow our nation to become a sanctuary for extremists. That is why my administration has been working on improved vetting procedures, and we will shortly take new steps to keep our nation safe and to keep those out who will do us harm.
In recent years, these programs, together with other intelligence, have protected the U.S. and our allies from terrorist threats across the globe, to include helping prevent the potential terrorist events over 50 times since 9/11. I believe we have achieved this security and relative safety in a way that does not compromise the privacy and civil liberties of our citizens. We would like to make three fundamental points. First, these programs are critical to the intelligence community's ability to protect our nation and our allies' security. Second, these programs are limited, focused. They have distinct purposes and oversight mechanisms. Third, the disciplined operation of these programs protects the privacy and civil liberties of the American people.
Early in the morning on September 6, 2009, a known al-Qaeda operative in Pakistan sent this email to Najibullah Zazi in Colorado. Zazi writes, "The marriage is ready," a common terror code for an attack. Alarm bells ring. U.S. intelligence has never heard of Zazi in Colorado, and days before a 9/11 anniversary, there is fear something very bad is about to happen. The emails immediately put the FBI on Zazi's tail, even though they don't know what he's up to. September 10th, Zazi drives across a bridge into New York with bomb components in his car. He stopped at a supposedly routine checkpoint and gets suspicious, and cancels the plot to blow up New York subways. He sends a text to his co-conspirators. "The police is after me. We are done." Those Zazi emails exchanged with an al-Qaeda operative overseas were sent on Yahoo accounts. According to a top-secret document obtained by the Washington Post, Yahoo is one of several U.S. Internet companies that make up what the paper says is called the PRISM program. It reportedly involves the National Security Agency and the FBI extracting information directly from 9 U.S. Internet companies to track foreign targets, including terrorists.
I want to now bring in two individuals who know a lot about this and come from different positions, even though they are both Democrats. I'm going to start with Congressman Keith Ellison, Democrat from Minnesota, and then in studio with me, the former ranking Democrat of the House Select Committee on Intelligence, Jane Harman. Does law enforcement and National Security Agency, do they need to be able to look at all of this data?
Congress has been careful. There were abuses after 9/11. The Bush administration, early from 2002 to 2005, was conducting a program to use phone records, but it was outside the law, the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act. When Congress figured this out, and I was one of the people who did, we expressed enormous concern. And FISA, the law, was revised in 2007 with the support of then Senator Obama and many of us.
This seems very broad, Congresswoman. Well, it seems very broad. Millions of Americans, their data being looked at without
their
any...
data is not being looked at. Their data is in a database which can only be looked at if they're Americans, if there is an individualized court order to look at the data. And as you said at the beginning, or as President Obama said, there's no such thing as 100% security or 100% liberty, but I think we either get more of both or less of both. It's not a zero-sum game.
Congressman Ellison, are you comfortable with what Congresswoman Harman said about, look, this data isn't looked at, it's just accumulated, and then if the law enforcement and the national security apparatus needs to go back and look at it, then it's looked at. Does that sit well with you? Are you okay with that?
Well, we hope it isn't. I mean, the reality is if it's there, you know, there's at least the potentiality that somebody is going to look into it. Now, you might say, well, they don't have the authority to do so. But if we look at history as a guide, if information is available to be looked into, often it will be. So I think this is the time and the occasion to say we're casting the net too widely. Now, I'll say this about President Obama's statement, no 100% privacy, no 100% security. Obviously, that's right. But that's why we have to constantly strike the balance.
All right, we'll just have to leave it there. We're going to have both of you back to talk about this at a later date. Thank you.